All right, we just finished up day 4 of the program, and my brain is fried. And Travis's brain is fried.
Hi.
That's the best we're gonna get out of any of us. Oh my goodness.
But my brain's not fried because it's overwhelming. It's just a lot of information. For 4 days, that's a long time.
Yeah, it is. It's a long time. It's a lot of information. And anyway, it was nice. The guy that was doing it was like, we want you to just close the book and take a break for a couple days, which I think is a great idea, because I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get some food to eat, and then I'm gonna start like making this all organized. So that was, yeah, I would have been burnt out. So that was a good piece of advice.
You can do that if it makes you feel better. Because we got to take all the stuff they taught us, because they gave us a bunch of things to do, and now we got to make a schedule out of it.
Yeah, like a daily schedule, and there's a lot of reps, and so we're doing like stuff for mobility, intellectual stuff, and so there's a lot of prep. So it feels like homeschooling on steroids, but it has an intense PE program. So it's kind of what it feels like and what it might look like. We also have to construct this crawl box, but a lot of what the program is designed around is brain development, that like our kids need to kind of backtrack and develop the lower parts of their brain, so the medulla and then the pons and then the midbrain, and then you have the higher functioning brain. And so we are doing a lot of exercises to reorganize these parts of the brain, because for whatever reason that didn't happen, whether like nutritional, birth defects, a vaccine injury, like there's so many possibilities. And our mentor just said like it doesn't really necessarily matter as much what the specific thing was, because it's hard to pinpoint it, and it could be a contribution of all of them. Regardless, we're just going to reorganize the brain. They also gave us a dietary guidelines, and so we'll be shifting our diet, we'll be shifting our daily schedule. Summer's coming up soon, so all the kids will be home, so that will definitely change how we do things. We're going to try to get our oldest involved to help with the program with Elizabeth and Jacob, and the next couple of days we're just going to be kind of taking a break, and then we'll be organizing everything and sending it back to our mentor to have him look at it, and then we're gonna see that then we'll start. And we start the physical program, and then a couple weeks later we start the intellectual program, part of the program. Anyway, I'm feeling encouraged. I'm not feeling like over the top. I'm not feeling discouraged or super excited. I'm mostly just feeling determined and wanting to get it organized and to have a plan and to see a clear vision of what the days are going to look like. And it's interesting because something that he mentioned was that it's through like the small, how did he say it? Not small and simple things, but something like that. How these really simple things that we're doing, because a lot of it's crawling, different styles of crawling and walking and like spinning and turning and swinging and playing, all seem and look very simple on the outside, but they reorganize and have a strong effect when done repeatedly on the organization of the brain. And so I'm excited to see that. And that's a big part of why we want to capture this, is not only for us as parents to see the progress that our kids will make, at least with this program. A lot of families have experienced that. So I feel like there's a high probability that this will happen for our kids, so that we can see the progress, so that we can find encouragement, because keeping our own motivation and mental health and encouragement and keeping that high for mom and dad, I think will be very important in order to keep it high for the kids. And that something our mentor said was really got to focus on where things are going right. Because something that I was talking about was like being able to clearly see all the places in which I've dropped the ball when it comes to parenting and mothering, and then having this happen, having kids that have special abilities and that are behind developmentally, oftentimes it feels like I'm just confronted with where I've dropped the ball all the time. And he's like, of course parents drop the ball, but the important thing is to focus on the areas of where you carried the ball into the end zone. And for us, reaching out and doing this program is one of those moments where we are carrying the ball into the end zone. And so, yeah, a big part of filming this is having that evidence for ourselves, having evidence of progress in our kids, in which doctors have told us that perhaps they will never change and that there isn't really a big possibility for improvement because we don't know what they have or anything like that. But to take a moment to, I guess, to have evidence that and proof that they were wrong about our kids. And then to also show that, the bus has arrived for Elizabeth. Okay, so I ran out of data, or not data, but room on my phone because I've been filming all of the kids doing different skills and sending it to our mentor so that he can analyze them. Anyway, so I'll make this quick. But what I was saying was the other reason that I feel it's really important to share our story is so that parents that have kids with special needs realize that there is potential. And that was a part of the workshop that we learned. The first 2 days was called Unleashing Your Child's Potential. And I just feel like there are so many times when we are told by medical professionals and doctors and family and friends and other people that our just children may never develop past this disability. They may never do it, and there's not a possibility. And I do want to say that is a possibility, that they never will. But I also feel very strongly that there's a huge possibility that they could. And are we looking and are we trying to figure it out? And there have been a lot of cases where it's the parents of these children, like my children, who are the ones that find the discoveries, that are pushing the medical field to its edge to figure out what's going on with our kids, and that they find help and they find solutions. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's generations after them that benefit from their work. Anyway, just to be a voice of possibility for our kids in a society where they are seen as less, they are seen as non-contributing, they're seen as possibly a burden, and that there's just not possibility for improvement. And I don't think it's on us to figure it out and to see where they stand. And in some situations, maybe we just don't know enough. Maybe it's not possible. But I think there's a big space where there's a lot of possibility. So I feel like I don't know what that looks like for my kids, but we're going to go as far as we can. And we're going to keep going. And that is a life full of adventure and full of excitement and possibility and seeing how far kids can go. Because, like, who are we to say that we actually know their limits? We don't even know our own. And sometimes we're just wrong about it. Sometimes we're wrong about our limits. And so why not try to push it? Anyway, okay, so we'll check up in a couple of days. See how it's going then.